Right.
Every Catholic hospital takes birth records and sends them to Rome. This is how many babies were born. And this is how many of them were Jews, and here's their address.
Oh.
I don't know why you always have to criticize me.
I don't know why you always have to be judging me. Because I only believe in science.
Welcome to Two Gaming Dudes.
Oh boy, we didn't get very far. As of today, the Vatican, we still haven't had a pope elected yet. It's only been 2 weeks.
So those of you who tuned in very concerned, don't worry, the pope is still dead. That hasn't changed.
So I don't remember what comedian brought it up. That in this little brief period of time when the pope dies and before they pick a new one,
right?
That little couple weeks is the only time on Earth that there's not somebody on Earth who's infallible.
Oh,
because as soon as you elect a pope, he's infallible.
Oh, I see. So before you actually elect him, he's just some dude.
Yeah. Then he becomes the vicar of Christ, and his word comes directly from Christ, so he's infallible. Yeah, that's great.
Awesome. Okay.
We touched last week on some Vatican history and on some stuff that they've done that was a little unseemly. This part requires a whole episode just to itself.
Oh, all right.
The Vatican's involvement during World War II.
Oh, no.
Specifically their involvement with Nazi Germany.
Oh, no.
So you have Pope Pius in 33, who is already not a big fan of the Israelites.
Okay.
He didn't really care for Jews. He thought they were a bit much.
And in meantime, in Germany, Hitler's Nazi party is slowly ascending and starting to gain influence and becoming a big deal and coming to power.
All right.
And their plan was much like Emperor Palpatine's plan. Much like what Hamas did in the Mideast. Win an election, take power, and then be like, you know what, no more elections. That was the plan.
It worked, so,
The very first treaty that Nazi Germany signs, as soon as they take power, is with the Vatican, with the Catholic Church. They call it the Reichskonkordat, the Reich's Concordance.
Oh.
It gives the Catholic Church control of the churches and education system in Germany in exchange for dissolving the Catholic Central Party, which is a political party.
Okay.
In a parliamentary system, you don't have Republicans and Democrats. You have a shit ton of political parties. And they all fight for parliamentary seats.
All
and whoever has the most seats gets the prime minister.
Okay.
So you're not voting for a guy for president like we do here. You're voting for
a party.
And the leader of the party becomes the head of state.
I gotcha. Okay, I get it.
The leader of the Nazi party was Hitler.
Gotcha.
By dissolving the Catholic Central Party, you take a rival party out of there and say, okay, there's no more Catholic Central Party. Everybody supports the Nazis now. So now they become the majority party and they have control over everything.
I gotcha.
Giving them the power they needed to say, no more elections.
It's my world now, bitch.
Pope Pius, hey, no problem. War breaks out. Everybody is getting the reports from bishops and priests all over Europe. Like, holy shit. Krauts are tearing through neighborhoods, like rounding up people and putting them on cattle cars. The Vatican knows what Hitler's final solution is.
Right.
They're still a fan of his, especially since they decree that Hitler's birthday is supposed to be celebrated in the church every year.
Oh, no.
And it was, up until his death.
Oh.
Hitler's birthday, celebrated from the Catholic Church. Okay.
Brilliant.
At this point, it gets weird, because you have factions forming in the Catholic Church, where some are, like, secretly starting an underground raid, like, get the Jews out of this neighborhood and sneak them out of here.
Right.
Hiding them out, helping them move underground, shit like that. Other factions are actively helping the Nazis in secret. Like, they're going into this town. There's a museum. Can you get, like, these 3 or 4 artifacts from that museum and bring it here?
Oh.
And we'll instruct the local church to tell you where all the Jews live or shit like that, because we have the census and the birth records.
Wow.
Because every hospital,
right,
every Catholic hospital takes birth records and sends them to Rome. This is how many babies were born, and this is how many of them were Jews, and here's their address.
Oh.
Shit like that. Oh, okay, and here's the valuable art that we stole from the museum.
Today, all of that information is available on Facebook.
It is, yeah. Okay, yada, yada, yada. Germany surrenders. Hitler puts a bullet through his head.
The end of that.
You'd think so, except... Besides that, yeah, we're going to keep all the loot you guys sent us.
Well,
besides that, there are now thousands of Nazis that have gone into hiding. And Pope Pius and the Catholic Church set up an underground railroad system to help those Nazis escape Europe
An escape of prosecution. And
mostly to Argentina, Brazil, Syria, out just wherever they could get them out.
wow.
Helped them escape.
Helping war criminals escape.
Like some of the worst, and many of the worst would have gotten away, if not for Simon Wiesenthal, who's a whole nother story. We should do an episode just on him.
Okay.
Famed Nazi hunter, who put together like a Mission Impossible team, and flew undercover across the world, tracking down Nazis and wasting them.
Wow.
Incredible story.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm very curious about that one. He's like a modern day Mission Impossible.
Very much, yeah, exactly like that.
That's awesome.
Just going to Brazil and Argentina and finding Nazis.
Finding Nazis.
This guy was the commandant of this concentration camp.
Yep.
Get 5 guys. These are the disguises we'll need. Let's go get them. And they did. Most of the time, they brought him to justice. Sometimes they wouldn't come quietly.
Yeah, got it.
Finally,
warm or cold makes no difference to me.
Finally, by 1965, long after the Nuremberg trials, and most Nazis in secular courts have already faced justice.
Right.
Finally, in 65, the Vatican says, okay, we take it back. The Jews didn't really kill Christ, and we're not going to preach anti-Semitism from the pulpit anymore.
Wow.
In 1965, 20 years after the guys that did it went to jail.
Right.
Get a life, Jews.
Yeah. Okay.
What's the status of Pope Pius XII, by the way? He's in line to be sainted.
What?
Gospel truth. He's in line to be sainted.
Wow.
Amen.
So what was it you said about religion? How, if you want good people to do bad, crazy shit, you need religion? Something like that?
It was Weinberg, I believe. So yeah, good people will do the best they can. Wicked people will always do wicked. But if you want to get good people to do wicked things, you're going to need religion for that. Because only if you have a holy mandate do you think it's okay to kick somebody into an oven or kick someone into a gas chamber.
God said I have to do this, so
No
here we go.
no sane, rational person would come up with something like that on their own. Only if you think you have a holy mandate to do it does a sane, rational person do that.
Wow.
So I don't know who's going to be the next pope.
Or what he's going to have to apologize for. I feel like a lot.
But, at least we had good ones in our lifetime. So I hope it's closer to Francis, because he seemed like a more sincere guy. But it could be one of the worst monsters in history. We've had popes that have been both.
We seem to be going back and forth a lot, so let's kind of hope for a good one this time around. But it's not up to us, and it's not up to any of these people. It's up to just those few that are going to vote, right?
About 130 cardinals, yeah. Half of whom shuttled around pedophile priests.
Okay.
Whatever.
So go for another one of those. I don't know. I have yet to watch the movie that shows how this
Conclave
movie.
movie? Yeah.
I keep wanting to see it, but I just haven't watched it yet.
Maybe
I think I watched one of the Tom Hanks movies that had something to do with it.
Oh, the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah, that had something a little bit in there, but
sure.
It probably wasn't very accurate.
Da Vinci Code, no.
Much like National Treasure, probably not very accurate about,
Well, Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel is one of the greatest pranks of all time.
Yeah.
I've showed you this one before, right?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. When the Vatican put out the contract for the Sistine Chapel, every artist in Europe went flocking to the Vatican to audition for this role.
Oh, sure.
Because they knew this was going to be
huge.
the big payday.
Right.
And Michelangelo shows up, and for his audition piece, he just took a board and a marker or a pencil and drew a perfect geometric circle freehand. He's like, if you guys want me, you know how to find me.
Wow.
So they do. They hire him, and he pulls off the biggest prank. Because afterwards, they're like, yeah, we're not going to pay you. He's like,
okay.
We'll see about that. He goes and up on the roof. One of the most famous photos of all time. I'll put it up right now.
Yeah, we're familiar with it. We know it. Yeah.
What is God sitting in? What does that look like? That's God creating Adam. What is God in? What does that shape around him look like?
Is he was that an apple?
That's a human brain, isn't it?
That is a human brain that he is
Frontal
sitting in.
cortex, medulla, rear cortex.
Oh.
God is all in your head.
Wow.
Says Michelangelo. You're not going to pay me? Let me finish this artwork for you.
Wow.
The greatest prank in history.
And it's still up
Still there.
Yep.
That's Michelangelo saying God is all in your head.
That's fantastic. And I imagine everybody there will deny that and say, that's not what that is.
Who knows? Oh, it's
Just
just...
call it whatever you want. It's right there.
I love it. It's one of my favorite things in the world.
Awesome. Well, I don't even know what to ask for in the comments to this one.
I'm not this is all verifiable. I didn't make any of it up. It's all true. It's all documented and well known.
So there you go.
Feel about it how you feel, I guess.
You'll have to let us know what you'd like us to talk about next, so make sure you leave some comments down below. I feel like we have to get back into one or two fun religious stories.
Oh yeah, I've got a
that
good
are
one for next
definitely
week.
Oh, do you?
Oh, I got a good one for next week. He's a real good one.
Awesome. I enjoy those.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
I love story time. I never got over that.
Especially since the Bible says the most simplistically, stupidly written. No forethought went into it. It makes no sense at all. And some of the stories just reflect that beautifully.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the next story. All right. We'll see you in another episode,
Rock
guys.
on, yo.
Later.
That's a fun one.